Hello and welcome to Conan Exiles, an open world sandbox survival game available on PC, Xbox and PlayStation. We are playing on the PlayStation version of the game, and with this game you've got different ways that you can play. You've got single player or single player co-op where you can have a few friends with you, but they will be tethered to you within a certain distance. And then you've got the online aspect. And with online you've got three different choices again, from PvP, PvE and PvEC, which are all different. So take a look at which option is better for you. If you prefer PvE and you don't like PvP, then PvE is definitely a fun way to play, and that's the way that we like to play the game. If you like the PvP aspect and all that type of thing, PvP is the way to go, definitely. Or if you're just someone that likes to mess around, then yeah, go with single player. But in this video we've got 5 little tips and tricks to get you going when you first load up the game that hopefully you'll find helpful and interesting. So let's jump into the game and start off with tip number 1. Okay, so here we go then with tip number 1. The very first tip I recommend you do is the minute you get into the game, pull up your map and figure out where you are. And for me on PlayStation, this is the right arrow key on the D-pad, and you can see it brings up your map. This is the map of the exiled lands, which as you can see is quite extensive, and the way that this works is the further south you are, the weaker the enemies, and the further north you go, the harder the enemies hit and the stronger they get, all the way up to the hardest hitting people up in the volcano, which you're not going to worry about till late game. But yeah, the tip is to pull up your map, figure out where you are, and as you can see we are just here, sort of between G and H. And our objective is to make our way along the river northwards here, and we're going to head for a little spot down on Noob River, which I'll show you in a minute, which is for the next tip. Tip number 2 kind of involves your journey up to the river as you're going along still, which as you'll see if you follow these pathways you'll get the journey step up there that'll pop up to say search for more, investigate the smoke, which is what we've just done now. And at each of these different spawn points you'll find a box, pick that up, and as you can see we're doing our journeys. So it wants us to eat and drink, so do that as you're going along. And you'll see up in the top right hand corner there I've got the journey steps, so if you follow those. So that is the next tip for tip number 2, is follow your journey steps, do as it says, work your way along, keep following this river, doing as it says, so gather and plant fibre, craft and wear clothing. If you can't, or you want to know more of where you're up to, for me if you press left on the D-pad you got journeys and bazaar. We want journeys, and if you take a look at journeys you'll see the very first journey there showing up for you, and it'll tell you what it wants you to do there, so that's a little bit clearer to see, so you can always have a look there and see what you're going to need to do. But again, for tip number 2, keep following this while you make your way north to the river, and I will meet you at tip number 3. Okay, so here we go with tip number 3. If you made your way down to Noob River or up to Noob River, whichever way you want to look at it, get yourself to this little spot just here. You'll meet this NPC called Arcos the Wanderer.
Seen enough of the desert. Better get used to it. It's all we have.
Now, he's saying that to me because I've already spoken to him, but basically he'll introduce himself to you the first time you come to speak to him, and you can learn an emote from him, and he'll also give you some hints to what he's supposedly seen wandering around where you are, and give you some hints to what's going on. And this is a relatively safe area to be, because you'll see these creatures wandering around, as you may have already seen a couple on your way down, that are passive, a lot of them. You'll notice some that are slightly bigger and a different colour that are aggressive, and you'll know because they will sort of hiss or growl at you, whatever you want to call it, which we'll look at next time, and they will attack you straight away. These won't attack you unless you attack them. There are crocodiles around as well, which we'll take a look at next time. You'll see little babies of the animals wandering around as well. But not only is that a good little spot for you to start out, but if you make your way to a safe little spot, like I say, whether you play on a server or a single player will depend on how you adapt this bit, but if you find yourself a nice little starter location, hello Rabbit, if you play single player, then I suggest you put yourself down a little foundation base to start out, and this little box as well. If you play on a server, concentrate on getting this box down at least first, which again gives you the journeys as you're going through to do. And there's a real special reason for this box. Believe it or not, early game it'll save your life. But if you're single player, yeah, you can get a bit of foundations done as well. You don't need to worry too much with that. But the reason why this box is so good is because in Conan Exiles there is a thing called a sandstorm, which starts from over here in Seppa Maru, blows all the way down Noob River to about this location here. And if you're caught in it, you can heal through it if you've got plenty of rough wraps made up. It's not very easy, especially if you're quite low health at early level, but it is doable, but I don't recommend it. What I do recommend you do is to make yourself this box so that you can enter into it, close the door if you've got a sandstorm, and as you'll see, you'll get the debuff, or the buff rather, that will pop up saying that you're sheltered. And if you stay in here until the sandstorm is over, then you'll be perfectly fine. Then you can pop back out again and carry on doing whatever you were doing. Tip number 4, you will find a very, very useful tool, shall we say. Well, it's not a tool, it's a weapon, but you'll find this as a very useful tool, certainly early game. If on your way down or up from the spawn area you're able to gather enough stone branches and you've made yourself a bit of twine, make yourself a set of these stone daggers. Probably one of, or certainly as a lot of players will tell you, the most OP weapon you can have at the start of the game, no matter what difficulty you play on, because these will absolutely annihilate any creatures that are around. You've got your regular attacks, which is a jab. The more quicker you press it, the different ones you do. Light attacks, mainly if you're fighting what we will look at next time, so the shalebacks and the crocodiles, you want to use your heavy attack, which does this one. Reason why that is so OP is that will attach or trigger bleed on the creatures, so the more you do it, the more you stack it, and you can stack bleed on them. The more bleed you stack on them, yes, it'll use a lot of stamina early on, so watch your stamina. But if you do a jab and then move away, as I say, we'll go into how the creatures all fight with you in the next episode, but that's how that works. Make yourself a set of these, because these will get you through the game really easy early on. I mean, if you can get yourself a better pair as you progress through the tiers of materials, so iron into steel, into hardened steel, perfected versions, and even legendaries, if you want to use those, they will get you through the rest of the game. But early game, your best early game weapon is definitely a set of daggers for getting you through pretty much everything you'll need to do down here on Noob River. Here we go with the last one then, tip number 5. I am using God mode for this, because if I didn't, the person you can see fighting in the background now, that's now running back, would actually attack me straight away. But this is one of the what we call one skull bosses that you will see wandering around on Noob River. Not a lot of health, so they are easy to take down. Different versions of them, males and females, and they'll all be wearing different types of armour, so they'll either be wearing the regular heavy, the medium or the light, and they have a chance when you kill them of dropping you not always a full set of each armour, but they might drop you one piece of the heavy or a couple of pieces of the heavy, or they might drop you some of the medium or some of the light, depending on what they've got. For some reason they like to just attack all the shale back, even though they don't attack them. Yes, they are a one skull boss, but as I say, very, very easy to take down. If I just show you with the daggers, she's going to reset back to where she starts from. And then I'll show you where you get these. But if you do a couple of bleeds on her like that, as I say, she would normally be trying to attack me. So if I come out of cloak a minute. Hello. Well, helps if I'm not in creative as well, doesn't it? They will do you quite a bit of damage early on, so just be careful. But again, watch your stamina. Couple of bleeds. You'll see the health bar tick down as it's doing there. Now I took her out straight away there, she actually didn't die to the bleed, but they will die to bleed damage. And then I say, take them down. She's give us some arrows this time, but you do have a chance of getting some armour from them. Be it 1 or 2 or 3 if you get really lucky, pieces of the armour that they're wearing typically. Usually I think if they're wearing heavy, it'll be heavy they drop you. If it's the medium, they'll drop you medium. And Tessa the Blade, she's actually one of the ones I've had a few times. She's pretty good. I don't know why it says that. I don't know whether that's with the language set up for the server the way I've got it, but yeah, Tessa the Blade, I believe that one is. And where we are, if I show you on the map, is we're a little bit further along on New River just here. So there's one here. There's also one if you go down under that bridge, where you see a little broken bit just to the right there, just under it. On a little island in the middle again, you'll see another one wandering around there. There's also another one if you go the opposite way to where we started out, just under this bridge here and around the corner, up onto the little ridge. You'll see them wandering about there, so you've got a really good chance of getting some armour from them as well, and that can be really useful for you just when you're first starting out to get you some. It will be damaged, so it won't be 100% durable, but it will give you a bit of starting armour when you're just starting out to get you going. So there we have it. Some little useful starting tips and tricks to get you going in Conan Exiles in 2026. Hopefully you found those interesting, hopefully you find them helpful. Do stick around and we'll take a look at the basics of combat against the different creatures you'll encounter in the early stages of the game in the next episode. So if you did enjoy this one, do me a massive favour, leave your comments down below, leave a like if you did so it shares it out with more and more people. Why not consider subscribing to the channel if you do? It's totally free for you to do and it helps me out a lot growing the channel. Why not come be a part of the community? Lots of people who join our live streams as well with a lot of knowledge on this game that if we don't know the answers, hopefully they do, and quite a lot of hours in the game between us all. So do come along and say hello. We currently do a stream on a Friday at the moment, 7 PM UK time, doing a playthrough on Conan Exiles. Do come and check that out, say hello and ask your questions there if you want to do. You'd be more than welcome. And if you want to know a bit more of a beginner's guide series, he is quite a way into it now, so you'd have a few episodes to catch up on. But check out Angar UK, who is doing a noob to pro series on Conan Exiles, which is basically taking you through the game, showing you and telling you the things that the game doesn't really tell you when you first start out that you'll probably find very useful as well. But that's going to do it for this one. Until the next one, take it easy everybody. Bye bye for now.